Hey Volcanoes fans, I'm Matt McMullen with Volcanoes TV. I'm joined here today by a very special guest, new Volcanoes manager, Kyle Haines. Kyle, first off, welcome to Volcanoes.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Although I should be saying welcome back. You played here in 2004.
I did. My first season after being drafted, made my way here and had a great time. And it's been great to come back. It's changed a little bit around here, but it's just a beautiful part of the country. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. Well, so how can your experience here in the past help you now as a manager?
Well, I think one thing is I can relate to where these guys are coming from a mental standpoint as well as a physical. A lot of these players came from extended spring right now, so we're familiar with each other. But a lot of the newer guys that come in as the summer progresses, I've been in their shoes fairly recently, and I can flash back to where I was mentally, physically, and maybe be able to relate to them a little bit here and there, and try to lead them the best I can.
Sure. Well, so this isn't your first managerial experience. You managed the Frontier Grays in the Frontier League last year. It's an independent league. You're in a bit of a unique situation with that team. Can you tell us a bit about how that team was unique and also how that made you a better manager?
Yeah, well, we're owned by all the other teams in the league. There's 14 total teams. We were number 14. And basically the long story is you can't really have an odd number of teams in a baseball season. So you have to have an even number or else somebody has to take an entire series off every series. So to fill it out, the Frontier League started the Frontier Grays, which is owned by all the other 13 teams, and we don't have a home stadium. So until they find an expansion city that they deem credible, worthy of a Frontier League city, they funded us completely, and they were one of the better experiences in my career. It's definitely, I told people I learned probably more in 1 year than most people do in 5 to 10 years of coaching and managing. And very blessed that I got the opportunity. It was a great experience, but at the same time it had its trials. Played 96 straight games on the road. You hear people complain about a 10-game road trip. We had a 96-game road trip. And I was proud of our guys, a lot of good players. But we competed well, we battled. Definitely not the ideal situation you want to be in, but it definitely was a good start. I think minor league baseball is all about trying to get to another level, so to speak, trying to advance yourself. Nobody wants to make a career out of that, whether it be here you want to make it to the big leagues, or there you want to get out of there into a better spot, both coaching and playing. And it was a good spot for me. I've been very fortunate to do it, but it was very trying.
So assuming on opening night you're excited to have a home ballpark, home fans.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different wearing the white uniforms. Didn't get to wear a white uniform all last year, so it's definitely going to be a little different. And but it'll be definitely a change for me having fans behind us.
Tell me a bit about your playing career. You played 10 years in the minors.
Yeah, I mean, minor leagues is trying. It's there's so many ups and downs, and no matter if you're a prospect or non-prospect organizational player, whatever you want to call them, first round pick to undrafted free agent, you're going to go through so many ups and downs. And I'm very proud about the 10-year career I was able to put together. I think if you came to me as a 21-year-old here in Salem-Keizer, when I first signed and came here and said, hey, you're going to get 10 years in the minor leagues, be so close to the big leagues but never quite break in and get that right place at the right time moment, I would have said I would take it. And definitely a lot of ups and downs, but I'm very proud of it, very satisfied with where I went, and definitely feel like I gave it my all and prepared the best I could and got the most out of my ability, and very proud of my career, and so lucky to meet so many great people, managing, coaching, teammates, that it's going to be more than just a playing career for me. It's everlasting relationships with great people that I learned from, and hopefully I carry that into my coaching career and carry it on to the other players, just like people gave to me. I can shed that to other players as well.
Sure. And you played with guys in San Jose, correct? Pablo Sandoval, Tim Lincecum.
Yeah.
These guys won World Series. What's it like to play with those guys and watch them later on and see what they accomplish?
Well, I won 3 championships with those guys. There's so many more. Even the easy ones are Sandoval. I played every year I played with the Giants. I played with Sandoval, and I told somebody back home, because a lot of times they think, oh, you're not in the big league, so you're not buddies with those guys. And I tell them, hey, I played with Sandoval longer than I played with my high school team. Yeah. That's how close we became. We play 140 games, not 30 games, whatever. And you really become friends with these guys more than you see them as maybe a teammate or just another guy on TV. So it takes on a new dynamic when you're watching the World Series and you're seeing friends out there playing, because it humanizes it, and in some ways you realize that these people are human, but it makes it a lot sweeter and a little awkward at times when you see your buddies jumping up and down on top of the mound. Because at some point or another, I played with almost every one of those guys that came up with the Giants, and even Coach Roberto Kelly was my manager, and a lot of those coaches there were with the Giants in the minor leagues. So to see them celebrating on the mound the World Series, or watching Travis Ishikawa hit a homer that's maybe one of the biggest homers in Giants history. I mean, that is, Pablo Sandoval hitting 3 homers in one game. It doesn't even really register with you, because you identify them as just a human being, but they've done so many superhuman things on that stage. It's just very gratifying to see it, because at some point you feel like you had a small part in it, maybe not a big part, but at some point you feel like a lot of conversations, the extra work on the field and the cages, you feel a little part of it and see how these guys do it.
Well, okay, 10 years playing baseball. You managed last year, you managed this year. What keeps you coming back every summer?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think the game gets a grip on you. You love it. There's just a passion for what happens between the lines and the preparation. And the game is so easy in so many ways, but yet so complex in others. And every year you learn more and more about it. And it's mind-blowing how such a simple game can be so complex as you start to learn more and more. Just the fact that I have a passion for the game. You see other people and then you really help them achieve their dreams. There's not very many professions that you can help other people achieve their dreams. And that's something I really encourage here, is being able to somehow help a guy achieve his dream and help these guys go forward. There's not too many professions that can say that. So it kind of combines the best of all the worlds for me.
Sure. Well, finally, opening week is here. What can fans come out to the ballpark expecting the team to see?
Right now, I think it's yet to be seen. I think we got, I've seen a lot of these guys. The group we have right now, I think we can surprise some people with a little bit of little power. I think we got some surprising little pop in the bat for such usually young players. Power develops later to them. But with this group, I think we got some strong guys to surprise people and put up runs in a hurry. Right now, we're probably a little short on speed. A few guys that really are going to change the game with their speed, so to speak. But then some older pitchers, a couple of intriguing stories, guys converting from pitcher to position player, or pitcher back to pitcher to position player, or position player back to the pitcher. And a couple of intriguing things like that, where see guys that maybe were here, might have played here or against the Volcanoes as a position player, now coming in for the Volcanoes pitching. So they're trying to make that transition. But some very intriguing stories, and guys that are very hungry. Guys, kind of the blue collar underdog stories. A lot of those in this group right here. They'll scrap and claw for everything.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, thanks for your time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
For Kyle Haines, I'm McMullen. Thanks for watching.